Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are. Delighted to welcome you to our first ever Product Experience Summit. We created this event because it has never been more important for product teams to think not just about the tech, the features, the designs, but about the experiences they are creating. And we have a lot of fantastic content for you today. Our aim with this event, these sessions, and the incredible speakers we've put together for you is to inspire you all in your day-to-day jobs to think about the experiences you're delivering to your customers. I can't actually see any of you, but I know that we have a lot of familiar faces watching and many new friends. Welcome. My name is Mikhail. I'm one of the founders and CEO here at Chattermill. We are an AI platform that helps leading brands such as Uber, JP Morgan, Amazon, and H&M turn customer feedback and conversations into actionable insights. We work with a lot of very different teams in those businesses, from customer experience to operations to marketing. But today, the focus is on the product family. So why should product teams listen to their customers? I'm sure most of you are now thinking, what a silly question. Of course, any product person, any designer, any UX researcher has been trained to know that they should listen to their users. We've all read all these amazing books, such as Mom Test, Lean Startup, Inspired, or my personal favorite, Competing Against Luck, that introduced the concept of jobs to be done. We've heard all of our famous product thinkers, business leaders say the same thing. And yet, there are still a lot of bad products around us. Sometimes bad products built by amazing product teams. Let me illustrate that with a story. If you haven't heard of Sonos, they make some of the best audio devices for your home. It's an incredible story of a company that survived and thrived against huge players, including amazing companies like Apple and Sony, mostly due to their incredible product quality. I myself am a proud owner of multiple Sonos products. Well, last year, Sonos decided to release a new version of its app. Their goal was to improve customer experience. On paper, it made a ton of sense. The old app wasn't exactly stopping people from buying Sonos products, but it wasn't that great either. In practice, this turned into a complete disaster. Sonos lost $500 million in market cap, around $100 million in actual revenue, and their CEO, their chief product officer, and their chief marketing officer eventually all stepped down within the last few months. That might have been one of the worst app updates ever. So what the hell happened? Well, the new app apparently removed some of the core features that their power users relied on daily. Simple things like alarms, sleep timers, ability to connect to local music libraries. I can easily imagine that those features got deprioritized for a reason. Sonos probably considered them fairly niche, unimportant, and decided to add them in later, maybe in the next few sprints. Well, the customers, and particularly their most loyal power customers, disagreed. Here you can see just a selection of the angry comments we scraped for Sonos since the update. Why am I telling you this story? Well, it underscores a critical truth. When companies stop listening, really listening to their customers at scale, the outcomes can be truly devastating. It's not just about losing revenue or market cap. It's about losing trust. And trust, once lost, is incredibly difficult to rebuild, especially if you lose trust with some of your most loyal customers and your most loyal fans. Today, I want to talk about how we as product teams can avoid making these same mistakes. How we can use customer voice, not just as data, but as a guiding light that helps us build products customers truly want and need. First, let me say that the simple advice, listen to your customers, is not going to cut it. When we talk to product team after product team, they all tell us that as much as they want to listen, the reality often is that at best they rely on a few anecdotes they picked up along the way, maybe from something a colleague shared on Slack, or if they're very lucky, from a couple of interviews they managed to conduct. Anecdotes can be useful, but they can also lead to biased, incomplete, and misleading understanding of customer needs. Frequently, teams only use these anecdotes to confirm what they have already decided, which is obviously not supposed to be the way. So why is this happening? A lot of us here have hundreds, thousands, sometimes millions of customers. To understand them, we need to listen at scale. And the good thing is that there has never been more data for us to do it. We have surveys, chats, reviews, calls, social media posts, and many, many other data points. Customers are already talking to us, but many product teams we speak to confess they do not really use any of this data when it comes to making daily decisions. And why not? Well, first of all, this data is hard to access. It's captured across many different sources, many different products that are traditionally shut off from the product teams. Support calls, survey data, App Store reviews rarely flow to product teams in a systematic way. To make it worse, this data is very hard to analyze. The best part of the data is unstructured, messy, frequently in a language you don't speak. No surprise, it quickly gets overwhelming. Yeah, ChatGPT can help you summarize a portion of it, but not the whole thing, not at scale, and not in a robust way. And finally, this data tends to be hard to contextualize. When feedback comes from multiple sources, connecting the dots isn't easy. Often what ends up happening is that the issues flagged the most get addressed, even if they won't have the highest impact for customers. So there is a better way. To listen at scale and build great products, you need to do three things well. First, you need to unify the data from all sources: support tickets and voice calls, NPS, app reviews, surveys, social media, and all other types of customer voice. You don't need every single channel, but the more you have, the better the quality of the insight is going to be. And no, there are no diminishing returns here. At least we have not found them yet. Next, you need to analyze the data effectively to extract the insights. Modern AI technology, if used correctly, allows you to find deep, actionable, robust insights relevant to each person on your team. Finally, you need to operationalize those insights. That means turning the insights into actual decisions, into actions to drive product improvements for all teams. I'm going to show you today how this works on the cutting edge. There are 4 things we see the best product teams do where listening to customers is indispensable. I'm not going to do a full demo of our product, but you will see some real screenshots as part of it. First, the best teams, they work to identify opportunities. This is about finding defects in our products, finding those nice-to-have features, and finding the must-have features. Sometimes customers tell us exactly what they need. More often, they tell us what's bothering them, and it's our job to figure out the solutions, like the example with the zippers here. Next, we need to prioritize. Product teams prioritize all the time. We have a backlog and ideas that would take 100 years or more to implement, but there is never enough time and never enough resource. So we need to choose. Usually this results in a roadmap, but it can be as simple as prioritizing which specific feature to build today, which payment methods should we support next, do we add dark mode or an AI assistant, and hundreds of decisions like this made at every level of the product organization. To use the voice of your customers in prioritization, you need to be able to quantify in a robust way at the right level. If you are doing it for the whole company, maybe as a chief product officer, you need to start top down from big strategic areas, then each department, and then finally each team will prioritize on their level. Each time, insights need to be robust and consistent over time and across your segments. Next, you want to track things over time. Is the problem becoming more or less important? Have the features and bug fixes we shipped recently helped? Again, your listening needs to be precise and consistent over time. You want an accurate measure of defect incidents and sentiment on each specific product area. And finally, we do need to validate our ideas. Sometimes this means being able to quickly find a bit of color on a specific area of your product or a specific feature, or maybe what the customers are saying about a competitor. A more advanced version of that is to run a full A/B test where you measure and compare each group of customers. For each of these use cases, you need the right data. The data needs to be contextualized and operationalized for real business impact. And if you haven't realized it yet, well, we at Chattermill can help you with all of this. But today, our goal is not to talk about our product. It is to inspire you. Over the next 4 sessions, you'll hear from some amazing product leaders about how they are facing up to these challenges.